We have a level 1 town, $2, and a boutique. And just like that, our journey to $1 trillion begins. There's 5 boutiques. I almost envy you. You make money so easily. It's tough sitting here clicking on things all day. Cafe for $35. It's nice to have an assistant and all, but do you have to be here the whole time with those stupid judgy eyes? Let's see if we can bring our cafe up to level 5, because that should boost it up to 2.5% extra profit. And if you want to upgrade our boutique, it's going to cost 345 QAs. I could offer them $700, but they're probably not going to take it. And it looks like so far I'm locked out of mostly everything. So we'll unlock them later and probably also buy them. These I could probably do. Get cafe plus 10, burger plus 10. So we made $2,000 while I was looking through the options. Let's spend it all on whatever this thing is. We hit level 50 already, so that's a 25.5% increase. Now our money's going up. There's $2,500 already. My name is James. I have big eyes. The whole city talks about your entrepreneur skills. Keep investing your money. Thank you, James. I think I will. Not because you told me to, but because I want to. Upgrades are getting marginally more expensive, but that's okay because I'm making money faster and faster and faster. James, we've talked about this. I don't really need your help. I get it. I click on things until I have too much money. But also there's ×2 profits, so we're up to an extra 25% from the coffee house, which makes me $3,100 every 5 seconds or so, which means we need a burger house, and then we need lots of upgrades for the burger place. Oh, a happiness bonus. Increase the profits of service sector businesses. Nobody in my employment would ever be happy. I'm gonna exploit every ounce of their energy for profit, and I don't care how many people die along the way. I close my eyes for 2 seconds and suddenly I have $206,000, so we need to upgrade our burger place because I need to hit level 50. Kind of a shame though, every time I upgrade a business the happiness factor goes up, but if I wait long enough the annoying people disappear eventually. So far we've only made $430,000. Look at this guy. He's so mesmerized by us he's not even looking at what he's writing anymore. Or he's like me and just faking it at work. Anyways, the burgers are now earning us $81,000 every whatever. So that's a lot of money. Time to buy the nightclub for only $12,000. It's starting to take some time. It's probably 45 seconds to touch down for $23,000. We'll give it a few upgrades and make some more. I guess the boutique is still pretty inexpensive to upgrade for only $63, so I'm going to use my auto clicker to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on it, just kind of because I can. We're almost at level 150 already. And that was kind of worth it because it's getting us $3,000 every few seconds, which is almost as much as the next upgrade along. Now it's getting extra profit, so it's $12,000. $12,000 every 2 seconds. And Idiot Stick wants me to buy a hotel, but I don't think he's seen the profits from the boutique yet. So maybe we should also make the coffee shop hit level 100, as long as it doesn't get too expensive. Now we're making some progress. We're going to make $1 million before you know it. And we can actually see we're making $28,000 a second. And I really like the fact that we can see that as we hit $1 million. So let's buy some more crap. Happiness bonus. Basically make people happy or something. I don't really know. I'm just here to make money. So next, let's go ahead and upgrade our disco ball, starting at 19,000, and there's several $1 million spent, level 33. Our burger place is up to $47,000 every 6 seconds. So whatever we invest right now, we're making our money back very quickly. Our first $1 million business has come around, the factory, for $4.5 million. And we're maybe not quite a third of the way through the level 1 town. Once we upgrade that, I'm sure everything makes money a lot faster, which feels strange because normally I do the opposite of upgrade a town. There is level 50, profits ×2. We get $3.6 million every 12 seconds, otherwise known as $153,000 a second. And that really shows this idiot wants me to buy a factory, but I've got almost $10 million to spend on this thing. Plus, every time I upgrade something on this row, it affects the profit for everything, so the more I buy, the more I make. Something just happened and I got $20 million. I don't know if I had a little stroke there and lost some time, or if I was awarded something. He really wants me to buy the factory, and I really don't want to buy it yet. We're up to 29 with this thing already. And that jumped us up to $479,000 a second. I want millions of dollars a second. Billions, trillions. But I guess while we're waiting to save up like $1 billion, I might as well buy the factory because it probably takes a while. 3.5 minutes. 3.5 minutes to produce $5 million. Next up will be the power plant for $112 million. Things are getting expensive fast. It's 10.9 for every level, so by the end of that, that's going to be more, but we have 8 levels to go. Basically what I'm trying to say is I need about $100 million to upgrade this. And we're going to run out of time before that touches down, but at least we'll get $46 million out of the deal, which will pay for itself. That's still not enough to hit level 50, but boy is it close. And finally, for $19.9 million, we're going to upgrade that once and double its profit. So that gives us $101 million every minute or so. Otherwise known as $1.4 million a second. We're getting up there pretty quick. So let's very quickly sink our $54 million into this guy, which was good for an incredible 9 levels. levels. But it does also make parts, so I should be working on upgrading this, because parts are probably important. And before the timer winds down, we're going to buy as many upgrades as we can. I got it to level 25, that's good enough for me. 246 million every 3.5 minutes. Or $2.5 million a second. Then we're going to boost the burger place up to level 100 for double profits there. 1.2 million every 6 seconds. And you know what? Let's do the same with the party place. I mean, $100 million got me up to level 81. You know what's great about Tom? Tom likes to get in the way. Once you have the money to buy the power plant, it won't let you buy anything else. You can't click on these things anymore because Idiot Stick is right in the way. So I guess I'll buy a nuclear power plant, which is going to also produce me energy. Next, we can buy a farm, which for some reason costs $1.9 billion, 8 times the amount of a power plant. And this only gives me 271 million every 7 minutes. But I can finally start to use some of my parts to upgrade some things. I think I want to upgrade more like the hotel, because getting another 10 hotel levels would be crazy expensive. The first one starts at 21 million, so in total you're looking at about 500 million to get those. And yes, I currently have almost 500 million, but I'm also about to spend it. And that will actually get us all the way to level 100, but only barely. Now it gives us 28 million every whatever. So now we're up to $4 million a second. I think given that these parts are so valuable, I'm going to start upgrading the things down here, because while I am going to enjoy this $265 million, I'm also going to enjoy the parts. So if I get 2 types of valuable currency, I'm just that much further ahead. So basically, I can use all the money I'm making to buy things like farms and use all the parts to upgrade things like hotels. So with 1 second left, there we go, an extra 38 parts, which means we have 81 of them now, so we can upgrade the hotels. Okay, I probably should have realized that. They're going to get more expensive every time you buy them. So I should have waited till the hotel was way upgraded, because 20 levels for 800 is expensive. But if this was at level 600 or something, that would actually be worth it. But I'm not here to think, I'm just here to click until I have too much money. Speaking of which, can we get this up to level 48? There is level 49 and level 50 for double the profits. Now in a minute and a half, I get $1.5 billion. And that upgrade puts us over $10 million a second. But I also realized that even upgrading this to only $58,000 increases the profit for other things. Every time I click this, I get $200,000 more every time that touches down. So I'm going to spend all my money right here, which put me up to level 222. And that didn't really increase the money here by very much, but it did make a difference. And I also learned that it's probably not worth it to spend all my money on boutiques. But this will be a good payday. We're going to get $271 million right now, and a modest $1.5 billion right now, which means we can buy the farm, and we're going to have to so Idiot can get out of the way. Food for the people. I want food for pure profit and nothing else. I don't care if they buy it and dump it into the ocean. I just want my money. The iron mine is $50 billion, but we'll get there. Even just unlocking this, which is going to give us $13.6 billion every 20 minutes, has pushed us up to $21 million a second. Just unlocking this has doubled my money per second. Well, the only thing left to do is push our hotels up to level 100, so let's spend all of our money there, which got us to level 69. And as amusing as that is, that's still 31 levels away from where we need to be. And with every upgrade costing a cool $50 million, that's gonna get expensive fast. But I should also be upgrading these other things, because as my plant gives me power, I can use that for profits. Imagine times 7 profits, that would be huge. And then food upgrades for production speeds. So as soon as I have a spare $2 billion, I can get an extra apple. But don't worry, we're about to make some progress. 5 seconds into we get $1.5 billion. And that sounds like a lot, but it's not even enough to buy a single upgrade for my farm. But since it's only 3 minutes till the plant is done, let's spend all that money there. That way we're going to get 12 lightning bolts. And all I'm going to need is 25 of those, because I'm going to have a super hotel. There we go. There's another 1.5 billion, which I'm very quickly going to roll into this guy so we can get as many lightning bolts as possible. And that's going to pay us back with 5.2 billion anyways. I've used some of that money to boost the power plant to level 25. Now it gets me 13.6 billion. Plus 25 lightning bolts. And after all that, we're now getting $52 million a second. While we're waiting for more lightning bolts, I might as well finish off this, see if I can get it all the way to level 100. We could not, but we got it to level 91, another 9 levels, and that'll be pretty profitable, especially once we lightning bolt it. But we're about to get another $1.5 billion in the factory, so that should get it part of the way there. Level 96, we're so close. We're about to get another 1.5 billion, which should help us get all the way up to level 100 with this guy. That's going to be great, because that's $1.1 billion by itself. And thanks to the 25 lightning bolts, we're going to increase our hotel profits 7 times. So now this hotel gives us $7.8 billion every minute and a half or something like that. So this is going to make us mega rich. We're up to $146 million a second now. So with my $23 billion I have, I'm going to pretty much reinvest all of that back into getting more lightning bolts because that's going to increase profit everywhere. And I've got 5 minutes to hopefully make it at level 50. Not that I'm sure it's going to matter at that point, but it is going to double the profit of this, which is already huge. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I've got another $10 billion, so I'm going to make that hit level 50. Now that's going to give me $81.5 billion. Then spend whatever I possibly can on the farm in the next few minutes because it's only 1 minute away and it's going to get me more apples plus billions. This one is good timing. 25 seconds, it's going to give me $8 billion, which should get a few more upgrades there, which should mean more billions here. Don't worry if that's hard to follow. I barely know what I'm doing as it is. To summarize and simplify things, I'm just here to click. Click, click, click. And now our modest little farm is about to give us $95 billion. And I'm not sure whether or not to buy the iron mine or upgrade this again so we get more profit. Because I have almost $100 billion, I might be able to make that hit level 25. I think we're gonna go for it. We might not make it, but it's gotta be close. 25, we did it. Now it's giving us $679 billion every 20 minutes. And so we're up to $854 million a second, almost $1 billion per second. And since we have $125 billion, let's try the iron mine to see what that's going to do for us. Your decision to invest in mine was exquisite. That gives us iron, which can be used at the port, which we don't unlock until we have a level 3 town. I'm fairly over halfway through level 1, so it's going to be a while, so that was maybe a poor investment. So next in our little bag of tricks, let's try upgrading the farm as much as we can. $80 billion, all the way up to there, but that's giving us almost $1 trillion every 20 minutes. And then we've got 70 lightning bolts to spend. If we had 800, we could double the hotel profits again. But because we don't, let's start with the nightclub, which is now good for 261 million every 40 seconds. But if we manage to make that hit the next level, it's going to give us considerably more. It's going to be $1 billion pretty soon. Just as soon as I get another $10 billion or so to spend. Wait, there we go. Level 150, so that gives us $830 million per tick, which boosted us up to $1.3 billion a second. But I know we can still do better than that. So with the last 45 seconds, I'm going to eke out all the billions I can from this guy. Once that touchdown, we got $90 billion out of the deal, so I'm going to upgrade the farm. The upgrades are starting at 10.1 billion and getting expensive fast, but it's going to give me well over $1 trillion when it does touch down. While we're waiting, let's boost the burger place up to level 150 for extra profit. It's not going to make a big difference, but it is going to make a difference, and it's not even that expensive because 13 million every so often isn't bad at all. It's pretty quick. $13 million every 12 seconds. It's about $1 million a second. Until we do this, now it's about $9 million a second. Whoops, and that's going to add up. I accidentally hit buy max, so now we're getting extra profit out of everything. I would really like to get the farm up to level 50 by the time it winds down in 8 minutes, but I don't know if we're going to have the money for that. That's going to cost us probably $300 billion. I'm hoping that once my power plant pays out, I'll have enough for the next 6 upgrades. $123 billion probably should do it. If not, I don't think I'm going to make it, but there it is. Just barely, but now we're going to get $2.7 trillion in 2.5 minutes. Then I think I'm going to focus my money on my beautiful hotel because I can double the profits with lightning bolts and make so much more money with it because $2.8 billion a second is not enough. And there we go, $2.7 trillion, which could afford me the lab, but why would I buy one of those? I can't even use the iron mine. This I definitely won't be able to use, but I do kind of want to see if I can make the power plant hit level 100. $5 billion for each upgrade is going to be expensive, but when you've got trillions of dollars, you've got trillions of dollars. Upgrades are now costing running up on $50 billion each, but there's level 100. So this is going to give me $650 billion every whatever, plus 100 lightning bolts. I kinda wish I didn't spend so many earlier. I need 800 to double my hotel profits. And simply because we are going to need so many lightning bolts, I'm going to spend the rest of my 1.8 trillion right here. Maybe I'll also upgrade the iron mine because it is going to pay out pretty good, especially for every upgrade. It's going to give me many billions more. Still only $4.6 billion a second. Wait, here's the problem. Our factory is only level 50. Let's bump that up a little bit. Since the mine is only 7.5 minutes away from giving me some money, I'm going to spend some money upgrading it now because look how much it's going to reward me with. In 7.5 minutes, it is going to give me 4.7 trillion at least. Almost missed my factory. I could boost it up to level 100 just before it's about to touch down. It's going to give me 4.4 billion, which isn't a ton, but that's going to add up. And that's funny because it's a lot more expensive than a hotel, but it's making less money by a lot. But speaking of which, if we boost this up to level 130 right now, which we can just barely afford, then we can spend 200 parts to boost that up to level 150, which is going to mean more profit. So it now makes 21.6 billion every few minutes. And there's the iron mine paying out, so we're up to $5.6 trillion, which she wants me to spend on one single lab. Instead of doing that, let's boost our iron mine up to level 25 so it can give me double the amount of money that I need. Or it could need to go to level 50, which is a little bit more expensive than I thought. But since we're in it now, we might as well just go for it. Level 38. That's totally fine, because in 29 minutes, we'll get $15 trillion, which is 50% more than everything we've made so far. With 2.5 minutes left to go on our iron farm, we're obviously going to jack that up to level 50 because we have $8.8 trillion to do it with. And it is going to be pretty expensive, but worth it. We're down to 2.5 trillion, but now we're going to get $194 trillion in about 2 minutes. And look at that, our nuclear reactor is only 13 seconds away, so let's spend all of our remaining money on that. But that's weird, it took away the option to buy the lab for some reason. Maybe because we're broke? And you're never gonna believe it, we have 800 lightning bolts. That means we can upgrade our hotel profits by another 2 times. So now it makes $43 billion every minute and a half. And our earnings now is $113 billion a second. The annoying lady is here asking me to buy stuff, so that must mean I've made some money. I guess at this point, since we have $200 trillion, we might as well buy the lab. And that's going to earn us $1.3 trillion every 16 seconds, apparently. I didn't really expect the lab to be such a big payer, but $1.3 trillion every 15 seconds or something, that puts us up to $175 billion a second. So then what happens if we go like this and spend $200 trillion on upgrades? We now get $39 trillion every 20 seconds, so we're now making $2.1 trillion a second. And if we work that up to level 50, it's going to earn us $94 trillion every 19 seconds. So in total, $5 trillion a second. And with that countdown, we're up to 1.1 quadrillion. And I always like the numbers bigger than trillions. So let's reinvest all of that money back into the chemistry lab. Conveniently, that's level 69, and we're now making $6.6 trillion a second. That was good. We can do better.